the Commonwealth Government is backing a pay rise for Australia's lowest paid workers this morning.
It wants the rise to be in line with inflation and will make the submission to the Fair Work Commission annual wage review. For more, let's bring in the Federal Treasurer, Jim Chalmers. Treasurer, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
So you want this increase in line with inflation. The current inflation rate is 3.4%, so you're after a 3.4% wage rise?
Typically, the Fair Work Commission uses the quarterly number rather than the monthly number that you've just cited, which bounces around a bit. But we don't want to see workers on the lowest pay go backwards. That's consistent with the other submissions we've made to the Fair Work Commission. Our focus this week and every week is helping to ensure that people can earn more and keep more of what they earn. We are enthusiastic supporters of a decent minimum pay increase for Australian low-paid workers so that people can earn more, and the tax cuts are all about ensuring people can keep more of what they earn as well. One of the reasons why we've got some welcome and encouraging wages growth in our economy after a decade of stagnation is because of the way that we have enthusiastically championed decent pay rises for people who are on the lowest incomes.
You're asking the Commission in your submission to consider any pay rise to be separate to the revised Stage 3 tax cuts. Why is that?
Well, we don't see cost of living relief as instead of decent wages growth. We want to see decent wages growth on top of the billions of dollars in cost of living relief that the Albanese government is rolling out. And we don't want to see the tax cuts that we're rolling out for every taxpayer, or the energy bill relief, or cheaper early childhood education, or cheaper medicines. None of those things are a substitute for getting wages growing in our economy again. What we've demonstrated is a willingness and an ability to roll out that cost of living help at the same time as we get wages moving again in our economy, because we recognise, even if our opponents don't, that one of the best ways that we can help people deal with cost of living pressures is to get wages moving again so people earn more and keep more of what they earn.
On the broader economy, we had those recently better than expected jobs figures, and that has prompted some economists, Treasurer, to say that any rate cuts from the RBA may now be delayed, possibly until later, well later this year, or even into next year. And I know you don't comment on the Independent Reserve Bank's deliberations, but would you be concerned if rate relief was pushed down the road here?
Oh, let me put it this way, Michael. You know, the primary concern of the Reserve Bank is inflation, and inflation has moderated really substantially since those peaks in 2022. We'll get a monthly figure later in the week. It might bounce a little bit up, it might bounce a little bit down, but overall the direction of travel is really clear. So inflation is the primary thing that they are focused on. We also know from the national accounts our economy is slowing quite considerably, and consumption has been especially flat, and the Reserve Bank will be focused on that as well. But if you take a step back for a moment and you think about the inflation figures, the wages figures that we've been talking about, and the job figures, you know, we've got a pretty rare trifecta in our economy right now. We've got unemployment coming down, we've got inflation moderating, and we've got real wages growth for the first time in years. All three of those things are good things.